ideas. They're not from him. They have not been effective. And so finally, she relented and gave me 10 things I couldn't do with her kids in the children's program. Said, I want my kids to come sign it. I signed it. No big deal. I'll sign it. Kids needed to be here. I want you to know that within 30 minutes of the program, when those kids were safe and they went off to use the bathroom, one of them came out of the bathroom and went like this to me, and I bent down and whispered in my ear, do you want me to tell you where my mommy keeps her needles? And kids know what's going on, and they need to have safe place and people to talk to about this. We know that children and alcoholics are at risk. You've heard about that. Risk. What does science tell us? Science tells us that these boys and girls grow up, and they're at risk for behavioral problems. Some kids act out on stress. Some are at risk for emotional problems and for physical problems. Hey, if you get a chance, something fascinating in the United States. There's a study being done called the ACE study, A-C-E. ACE, Adverse Childhood Experiences. The ACE study. So what they did was, they took 17,000 grown-ups, well-educated grown-ups, and put them through a survey, and then checked their health records. And what the study found, the more adverse childhood experiences, the more likely you are as an adult to have heart disease, lung disease, cancer, a whole variety of mental health problems, and they're beginning to tie early childhood experiences that never get resolved, and how over the course of the lifespan they get acted out with physical and mental and psychological and emotional problems. We know these kids are at risk. They take it a step further. We know in America, they're the #1 at-risk group to get addiction. There's no group. You want to know where the next generation of alcoholics and addicts are? Disproportionately in the United States. They're in homes where alcoholism or drug addiction is current now. Any treatment center in America, 3 out of every 4 teenagers or 3 out of every 4 adults who go to treatment have a family history of alcoholism or drug addiction. The #1 at-risk group. 2 to 4 times more likely to become addicted than kids who grow up in families where addiction isn't a problem. Genetics. Is there a biological predisposition? Yes. Does addiction tend to run in families? Yes. But I want to be clear about something that is very important, and it's this. Children do not inherit alcoholism. Children do not inherit drug addiction. What they inherit is a biological vulnerability to it. They're vulnerable to it, but they can be prevented. They can be prevented. We've got a growing body of evidence that suggests that's exactly what can happen. But environment also plays a part, a huge part in this. Back home as a children's therapist, if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. The younger the children are, the closer they are to the truth. The more they're able to talk. As they get older, it becomes more difficult. And I'll never forget a little boy 7 years old in a program who said, let me tell you about my house. Jeffy's 7. Let me tell you about my house. My dad goes into the bathroom and he locks the door and he's in there for like an hour. And he never flushes. Never flushes. All of a sudden, I smell smoke. There's smoke in the bathroom. His dad's using drugs. There's smoke in the bathroom. And he said, I don't know how he figured this out or who told him, but this is what he said next. He said, the door opens and an alien comes out in my dad's body. It's a disease. An alien comes out of my dad's body. You know what he does? He hits my mom. He hurts my mom. And my brother is sitting there in the group too with his hand like this, his 12-year-old brother. My brother runs for the door to get help, and sometimes Dad grabs him before he can get to the door. And my sister goes under the bed, and I go in the closet, and I'm not coming out until the alien goes away. You think about it, a biological predisposition and psychological hurt and pain. So many of these boys and girls are children of trauma. They experience so many traumas. But while they're at risk, here's the good news, honestly. This is why I am here.